Yo. Hello, everybody. It's not the Bloodline. It is the Mark Line. We're here after WWE Backlash, a pay-per-view that I believe over-delivered. Gentlemen, introduce yourself.
You go. This is the problem when your panel is 2/3 Canadian. We're both too polite to go first. We have to just wait for the other one.
Perfect.
But then it becomes a Canadian standoff. Go ahead, Caesar.
We should have waited longer on purpose just to be those guys.
But
anyways, as always, guys.
If I thought John would let us wait that long, then I
was going to jump right in like, okay, that's Caesar and that's CJ. Let's go.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? I'm Caesar. I'm on the Monday show with Tyler and the Wednesday show with the Dynamite crew. I am at NoobTube. I'd tell you guys all the platforms, but there are way too many to name. What you can say is, let's introduce the gentleman below me. Or this way, that way.
All right.
CJ Carter, I'm here every Tuesday night, every Friday night. I missed yesterday, though, so shout out to Sam and Matthew for holding down the fort. Very happy to have taken in Backlash Live. That was a phenomenal, quote-unquote, no, it was a great show, and I'm looking forward to talking about it with you guys.
Let's go.
Shit. We might as well get right into that excellent main event. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. Fellas. Phenomenal. I'll give my thoughts in a second. What did y'all think of this match?
Honestly, compared to some of the matches tonight.
I got to start giving names to who I'm referring to. That's me. That's on
just
me.
Wait for us to do things.
Caesar,
compared to some matches tonight. Compared to some of the matches tonight, honestly, it was a pretty good match. There's two matches on the card that I was really excited for. I'll say the other one later. This one, I actually had a pretty good amount of fun on it. A lot of action, a lot of high spots. Hell, I'd say it was pretty steady. I actually didn't get bored of it one bit. I was just sitting there waiting for things to happen, watching the spots. Hell, there is one spot, I hate to be this guy to throw this out there, but the Cody cutter off the rope near the end. Awesome.
I thought Cody was gonna break his fucking neck, bro. The way AJ Styles just because he takes the bump like a second delay because he had to catch him, like he had to keep him from dying. So, but it looked sick. It looked sick.
Yeah,
absolutely. And shout out to AJ for being able to catch him like that on the fly.
Mm-hmm. So CJ, what did you think of this match?
I thought it was incredible. Like there was no better first opponent for Cody Rhodes than AJ Styles. He put him through the paces, and I mean, the crowd made everybody look like $1 million tonight, right? Especially Jey Uso and this main event. Like the crowd was absolutely insane. And now they have to go back to America and get med through a night. But I mean, this one particular thing, which I know pissed John off, Cody kicking out of the
burning hammer.
Burning hammer.
Thing. God fucking
you were so mad about that.
I was furious. And it wasn't that he kicked out at one, though.
The match, too.
Because it wasn't that he kicked out at one. I wanted to make that clear because I saw a lot of people, like, the very first thing they go to is like, what about when Kenny Omega did it? And I was like, no, it's not that he kicked out at one goddamn. It's the goddamn burning hammer. Do you understand the significance? Like, it's one of the, well, honestly, it's one of the most protected fucking finishing moves in pro wrestling history. But even the fact, I'm not saying he should have fucking stayed down for 3. Like, I'm literally saying a 2.9 would have been like, oh shit, that would have been awesome. Kicking out at one just threw me off for like 3 seconds. I couldn't get back into the match for a couple minutes.
Whose burning hammer was protected?
Well, no, it's Kenta Kobashi's burning hammer, right? No, I get. This is what I'm saying. Okay. It doesn't matter that Cody didn't stay down for 3. I don't have a problem with that because I've always said, well, the move being done by someone who didn't master it, well, it makes sense that they're not able to use it the same. However,
That was essentially the argument I was going to make. Thank you for making it for me.
Dude, I do understand that. So I'm like, I didn't want him to lose to the fucking move. I hate seeing it. It gives me a reaction. When people kick out of fucking, when Will Ospreay did the goddamn Tiger Driver 91 to Kenny Omega, he didn't go for the pin and I was okay with it. Then he started using it like a regular signature and I was like, fuck this. Like, I don't want to see this move used every other match. This is supposed to be, it's literally created as a move that is not to be used unless it needs to be used. I live with that canon in my head, so I have a visceral reaction when I see it. When I see it other way. But that's my little take on that.
Now, we talked in the group chat about it too, but that we thought it was kind of an unexpected way to end the match. Like not a rushed finish, but like it did feel like an odd place to end the match on.
Oh, it did.
Is that fair?
Yeah, very much.
It did feel like it came out of nowhere, but I feel like maybe if they want to, like the way we were talking about the Burning Hammer, like if you want to protect Cody's big match, 3 crossroads, kick out of everything formula, then you probably shouldn't use it all the time. You should probably establish that the crossroads does work. It actually worked because against Roman, it almost looked like the finisher just didn't work. Like that move, you should come up with a new one. Like, which again was a cool thing about All Japan, that they just were like, okay, I will come up with a new one. but yeah, I don't mind establishing that the fucking crossroads is an actual finisher. Like, you know. But I agree with you that at the moment it felt like, oh shit, it's over.
Yeah. But I mean, this really did well in showing that AJ is very much still in his prime, like he said on Friday.
Oh man, I was watching this match and just thinking, like, not only is he massive right now, like it hasn't affected him. It hasn't weighed him down. It hasn't changed his style at all. He's still out there being AJ Styles, and I'm like, look, that's why he's one of the greatest of all time. Like because of a performance like this one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just get very passionate about AJ Styles.
No, I did. So, they were talking about his gear, like his custom gear that referenced, but I didn't catch the story.
It's a remake of the gear that he wore in the match against Dusty Rhodes.
Oh wow. I did hear Dusty's name, but I thought it was like an anniversary from when he won the NWA title. Not specifically that it was Dusty Rhodes. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's one of the cool little things about this match is that I think AJ Styles, does that make him the only person ever to face Dusty and Cody in singles matches? I gotta Google that. No, right? In singles matches. I'm sure there have been the other old people in tag matches.
Yeah, and I mean, like, did he have any matches in, probably not any singles matches, but even as far back as 2002 TNA. Oh, there we go.
That's the old gear, I guess, compared to the new version. Somebody messaged me saying, he's in the Judgment Day now. And I was like, no, it's a cool reference. Shut up.
That thought definitely did pop into my head, though.
No, I understand. I'm grateful to Corey Graves for explaining it on commentary too, even if the crowd was so fucking loud that you couldn't hear it.
Oh my god, that's the thing that I even put on Twitter. I was like, if your crowd is drowning out Samantha Irvin when she's trying to announce the guy, for one night he's the French Nightmare. Like they earned it. And I hope this really opens the door for more international pay-per-views, premium live events, whatever you want to call it. Speaking of, shout out Money in the Bank, making the right choice, coming to Canada, getting that check mark ticked early. I can't go, but but we're getting it.
Ultimately I wanted to say, like you said, AJ Styles was the perfect person to do this, to have Cody Rhodes' first match against. I don't know if Vince would have booked this match like not to say that he didn't believe in AJ Styles before, but it feels like that was a very good Triple H move. Like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna have Cody Rhodes defend his WWE Championship in the most entertaining way possible tonight, and we're gonna establish that he's gonna have a great run. I am a little worried that there might not be a plan for, like, an overarching plan for what they're gonna do with Cody before The Rock comes back. But because this AJ match felt kind of thrown together, like, okay, we'll do this.
Well, and
We'll just do
sometimes
this.
that happens. Like, it feels like either Backlash is just rehashing WrestleMania, or it's a stopgap to something bigger that they don't want to just rush into immediately following WrestleMania.
Well, it used to be the whole thing. That was the name, the Backlash of WrestleMania. That's why it's like,
WrestleMania.
oh, I don't have a problem with that at all.
And didn't The Rock also mention something about I'll see you in a few months, like 2 months or something like that?
Nah, he'll come
Well,
back.
when he was
He'll
done
be-
streaming.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
filming.
Streaming.
The Rock
streaming?
on TikTok
Been here too
live,
long.
doing an
It's been
NPC
12
thing.
Oh shit. We're gonna get in trouble.
Did you guys have
Oh.
any more thoughts about the WWE Championship match?
It was
Wow,
amazing.
solid.
That's all I've got right now.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see Cody in a feud with next?
That's a tough one.
Well,
honestly.
he got asked this question in the press conference, and he said the name that stood out to me was he wanted to get in the ring with LA Knight. So I'd love to see that, especially since I thought it was a little weird that LA Knight beats AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and then AJ gets the title match, and Angel goes to France Knight goes to France to face Angel the SmackDown before. Like, it feels weird. I really hope they get something for him, even if it's King of the Ring, which I don't see that happening, but hopefully it's like a jump to something bigger for him.
Having Cody versus LA Knight might have been a better match to have on this night than another night, because this would have been the perfect crowd for a Cody Rhodes LA Knight match. LA Knight's match works off of crowd reactions. Like, coming off this awesome AJ Styles match, I'm like less than enthusiastic to see LA Knight versus Cody. But I understand. But I do understand.
Solid reaction Friday too.
He's great. Like, he's great. The crowd loves him. But like, this crowd was so special tonight that I feel like, man, how different would it have been if LA Knight had the match tonight instead of probably Saudi Arabia. But not that I had a problem or anything. Just kind of a thought.
Now we know for the next international show, or next time they go back to France.
I think the next international show is the King and Queen of the Ring, right? King in May. Oh shit, yeah, just a couple
3 weeks away.
Yeah, it's the week. It's the day before Double or Nothing, which is like, fuck.
Yeah, but that's a
All
Saudi show, right?
All this work for me. But yes, it is a Saudi show. It is canon though.
Yeah, so
it's big deal.
Yeah,
they used to feel non-canon. I don't know if you remember those early Saudi shows. Used to feel like you didn't have to watch those. They're like big ass WrestleMania house shows. Michael Walters says Gunther wins the King and dethrones Priest at SummerSlam. What do you guys think about that?
I'd be down with that.
Yeah,
I feel like we got to factor in Drew.
The triple threat?
Do we though? Because he's going to be feuding with Punk for a while.
But is Punk
that is
cleared
true.
yet?
Is Punk looks like he'll be cleared very soon, actually. But we'll see. We will see.
But
I guess. What was that? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, but like when it comes to Punk's situation, it seems like he'll get going and that is big, intense push, and then someone will tap him in the shoulder and he'll drop like a bag of bricks. So
I'm
we
trying
have
to suppress my
those.
urges to slander CM Punk.
But okay, I'll be that guy for 5 minutes then.
At
Well,
least
I'm
you
looking-
know it's slander.
Yeah, this is how I'll look at it. If they do the Punk Drew angle and they get it all set up, and then Punk does fall down like a dead body, then we could think about putting Drew into the world title part.
Nah,
As for now,
I feel like they've got to not rush, but you got to commit to Drew McIntyre as your world champion at some point. The man
full
is
push.
a workhorse. He put the damn company on his back multiple times.
He's an
He
asshole
signed.
too.
He re-signed. He's here. He's committed to you. Now it's time for you to commit to him. That's how I feel about it.
Amen. That one.
I guess if that's all, we can whip it to the opening match, which I thought was almost equally as awesome as the main event. That's
This whole card, except for one thing that we'll talk about later, this whole card top to bottom was phenomenal. Like, just absolutely incredible.
great matches, great crowd. Absolutely, I agree with you. I'm not gonna. I woke up late and I missed the first 15 minutes, but the entrances were still going on. So what the hell did I miss?
The entrances.
Was it just the entrances?
Well, there was the part during Kevin's entrance that he got halfway down the ramp, stopped, climbed on the edge, and looked at the crowd and started high-fiving people like that picture. That's all he did.
He just like soaked it in for like 3 or 4 minutes.
It's like as if he forgot his line and he's like, "What do I say, guys?" Kind of thing.
I swore they did like an angle or something and I missed it. And I was like, shit. Like,
no, he literally stopped halfway down the ramp and started high-fiving people and staring.
That's crazy.
So,
okay.
Like, they went live. They did their fancy new Triple H era intro. They did that thing of like skyline shots and then shots of wrestlers walking around with their luggage, and then video package. And then they cut to the entrances. So that was like 8 minutes before Kevin Owens' theme even hit.
Dude, I went and got a coffee, a snack. I changed my chair. Take your pick. I came back and I was like, ooh, didn't miss anything.
The one time it worked out for me. I'm sorry you guys had to stick through it, but that was perfect.
I could have gotten 5 more minutes of sleep.
Seriously. But so I did get to see. I think I caught the crowd singing for Randy Orton, which was really cool. They did that yesterday too, right?
Every single word.
Very cool stuff. They brawled out until Nick Aldis came out and he said, "You guys don't want to follow any rules, so it's gonna be no disqualifications." And I was like, "Yes, I fucking love when they do that shit." So they had an awesome. They had a brawl. They brawled. They beat each other up. I just woke up, so the details of the match are foggy. I mostly remember enjoying it. What did y'all think?
It was the best possible car crash that has ever been put to film. They did that split screen thing again where, Kevin and Tonga went one way and Solo and Randy went another way. And it was just absolute carnage to the nth degree throughout the entire thing. So I'm glad this is the direction that they went in instead of just a regular tag team match. One thing that I will say though, during the opening brawl, you gotta stop going to this well of we gotta attack the security guards, or even police officers or things like that. I think that's part of what is. I'm not going to say it's part of the problem with people that will rush the ring. But the actual security guards are actually security guards. The security guards that we see getting attacked are the wrestlers. Everybody knows this, but the idea that we see these guys just getting so easily put down is I wonder if that real security guard can be put down that easy. but
Howdy.
I don't know.
Not if he's a good
weird
one.
rant. Weird rant. I wasn't expecting to go on that long. I thought it was just going to be like a throwaway comment, but I got more heated than I thought I would. But Tonga Loa coming back to the company and joining the Bloodline. That feels like a missed opportunity. Like, yes, it makes an impact, and yes, it means, the new Bloodline is really taking hold, but it just felt like more of a shoehorn than anything. Like, I know it was for the finish of the match, but I don't know. That's I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I don't think I disagree with it feeling shoehorned, but I more, it's just I didn't expect it. I apologize for my screaming children, but I didn't expect Tonga Loa to come in.
Talk of signing Jacob Fatu and that he was supposed to debut during the draft. I would have expected him more than Tonga Loa.
Caesar, why don't you answer before I do, so I can just turn around and be a father real fast.
Okay. So in regards to the match, it was a good match. It was cool that they actually did the whole kind of thing where you actually could follow them around the whole building and everything. That was awesome. They split that up, especially if you're the kind of person who wants to see all the action and not be kind of like, what's happening over here? In regards to what you're saying about Tonga Loa debuting, honestly, I felt kind of bad. Like he debuted, he ripped the ref out of the ring. That's it. He just stood there, didn't do anything else. And I thought maybe he would have like take the ref and like wrecked his day or like did something heinous. I guess we'll use the word instead of just a simple pull. And then I thought he would have jumped into the ring, did some work, took out Kevin or knocked out Randy, something, because it's your debut. It's not just like you don't get multiple debuts in your career. So that's just my take.
I thought I thought it was good that they kept it a surprise though. I mean, nobody knew. Nobody reported that this was gonna happen. He was just on a New Japan show in a real fucking shitty like a fucking eating contest stupid match thing they have going on with the King of Pro Wrestling thing. But so that was cool. But if you watch New Japan, then you would have been like, oh, that's interesting. That's all I'll say, because a lot of people were excited about it. I don't want to be down on it. It could still work. Gorillas of Destiny, they were hit and miss for me, but it's in the WWE environment. It could be an entirely different story. So I don't want to dismiss it. But if you were expecting Jacob Fatu and you got Tonga Loa, it's like, oh shit. I'll see what it tastes like. Basically,
Is my question in this regard is: does New Japan hold the copyright to Gorillas of Destiny, or is that their own thing?
Yeah, they were being cute about it on commentary, so that kind of tells me they're not going to use it.
Here's the God, the Guys of Destruction, or something they'll call them.
Well, something like, because they have like the Street Profits being part of the Pride. Like, I expect them to have some kind of tag team name representing the Bloodline.
Good one. Yeah,
I think they're just going to be the Bloodline. I swear, I think they are for a little while anyway.
Shut up, back. Eating contest.
It was. That's not a joke.
No, I'm just thinking, like, you look down at the comments, you see the comment you first see, you're like,
wow. That's what Tonga Loa was doing in his last New Japan appearance.
Big finale match.
So the team is going to be bigger than I thought it was, this new Bloodline. I thought it'd be the trio with Jacob Fatu, but if he's still joining the company, I imagine this is going to be for a full-ass Bloodline.
My question
Who the hell does Roman get to join him then?
My question is in regards to this 2.0 Bloodline or whatever they're calling it. Are they really going to say that Solo's the leader? Like, I hope not.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, they're building to something. I caught the end of the pre-show where, or part of the pre-show where Jackie Redmond and CM Punk were talking about who's actually leading the Bloodline. And I mean, they speculated Roman Reigns, they speculated The Rock, or they speculated someone else entirely. So it feels like they're still trying to leave it as open-ended as possible. All we know is what Paul Heyman says, but who knows if that can really be trusted either.
I would rather Paul Heyman be the leader than Solo.
It's totally The Rock.
Or The Rock even. Just not Solo.
Anybody which makes sense. But this was Solo's first televised win since he pinned John Cena at WrestleMania or at Crown Jewel last year.
Yeah.
Well, Cole didn't go. He said something about gorillas, and then Corey Graves was like, "It's something about destiny." I was like, "You guys get the fuck out of here!" But thank you, I appreciate the reference.
Just little Easter eggs.
They mentioned New Japan. You're in trouble.
I dig it. So we followed that with the WWE Women's World Championship. Bayley defended against Tiffany, Stratton, and Naomi. That was a great match, man. I had a great time. She posted that right after the match. I thought we should all see this picture because it is indeed Tiffy time. She's great, man. She's fucking great. I didn't know she'd be so good.
Right?
She's got so much potential. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody did their thing in this match. But Tiffy is like, you know, she's showing. I mean, obviously, this was put together to showcase her skills, but she's got them. I'm glad that she rose to the occasion. She's going to be great. Of course, you know, hoping all things go well. She can be literally legendary. We'll see though. What did you guys think of this match, CJ?
I thought this was excellent. Exactly like you said, it was a platform for Tiffany Stratton to show that she is capable of being on the same level as the current and a former women's champion. I thought this was, but even from Bayley and Naomi standpoints, like they did tremendous as well. The only thing that I wasn't too sure how I felt on about it was the finish itself, with Bayley getting a pin reversal and being able to win that way. It doesn't feel as definitive as it should have been for her first PLE title defense.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I did just see some news that I thought was interesting. Really interesting. Really interesting. We're getting a 420 WrestleMania. What the fuck? In Las Vegas.
That's crazy.
Oh shit. I am going to be so high. Holy shit. WrestleMania is right. It's going to be right. I can drive there. I will be driving there one way or another. I'm taking my ass to WrestleMania. So if they do WrestleMania in the big Allegiant Stadium, are they doing Raw and SmackDown in the Sphere? Get the fuck out of here.
That would be amazing. Or what is the seating in the Sphere? Like that wouldn't be
like
a
15 it's like 15 or 20 because Allegiant Stadium is for WrestleMania. That's why I'm like, it's
right, but I mean, like for future consideration.
Oh no, it's too small. We'll never go back there.
Okay, I haven't been to Vegas since they built it, so.
Jordan Kirby's
okay, so this was what actually his comment. Is it Tanga or Tonga that WWE's going with?
I think it's Tangaloa.
Well, yeah, like I know it was Tangaloa in New Japan.
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's a good question. I actually
sounded like what they were saying on commentary.
That's I didn't even question it. You know, I didn't even think twice. I just accepted it. I even called him Tangaloa, with an O. But pretty sure in my recap, I didn't even think about it. Oh shit, you're absolutely right. But we haven't seen his name on text in their show yet, so or on their website. Maybe on.
Well, I'm just scanning Twitter right now.
But yeah, WrestleMania in Las Vegas finally ending all the speculation. Sorry, Minnesota. That's really fucked up. I know you guys thought you were gonna get it, and I
Close
kind
enough
of
to the
knew.
border that I think I could have gone.
I kind of knew that it was gonna be in Las Vegas. Everybody did, but when they did that damn kickoff in Las Vegas for this year's WrestleMania, I was like,
That was weird.
they're scouting that shit. They're scouting Las Vegas. They're looking at stadiums. They're walking around asking for money. You
For
guys
the
want to
date
pay for
fight?
one of these or what?
Yeah.
But yes, man, very cool. Back to the show. CJ, or I guess you were talking about the triple threat match.
Yes, the triple threat match with the women's title on the line. I think I had pretty much everything said that I wanted to put out there. So yeah, I even when you were like, sorry to interrupt, I'm like, no, I think I was pretty much done talking. Oh no, the with the specifically the point of she didn't get what I thought was a definitive pin because it was a pin reversal and just managed to hook Naomi the right way. It doesn't really come across like, oh yeah, she earned that title victory. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say she didn't, but the finish would have helped cement the like that fact as indisputable, as opposed to people now being able to say, well, she just got the right hook at the right time.
I think they didn't want Bayley to get that kind of victory over either girl right now. I imagine for Tiffany, it's more because they want to protect her, and for Naomi, it's because they want to come back to that singles match sooner than later. That's how I see it though. That's kind of why I thought they did that finish too, because I had a feeling like that, but I was like, there's a reason. It's got to be one of those. See,
Hopefully.
oh, yeah, right. Hopefully, for real. I'm trying to have faith in the damn company. It's a new thing for me. Caesar, what'd you think of this triple threat?
Honestly, I was actually pretty hype on it. I was actually enjoying the hell of it. Those ladies just did it amazing tonight with the whole triple threat situation. And yes, Tiffy time is happening, okay? We need to embrace the damn thing. I don't know if we gotta get t-shirts made, posters like that put up on
They
our wall
literally
now.
do. They have all those things.
Like, I don't understand. Ever since Elimination Chamber, when the crowd freaked out that she got eliminated, like it's been something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Hunter's cooking up. Hell, maybe it should be the Money in the Bank winner this year. But there is some like aura around Tiffy time, so we gotta watch for it. The match was awesome. The ending was awesome, but we just gotta wait and see what the hell's gonna happen going into King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, going on 3 weeks. So I'm excited.
So we follow this match with the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, no, before that, we had a segment, a very interesting segment. Jey Uso's in the back getting ready.
Oh, this one.
Gets stared down by the Bloodline or the Crip Line. I'm gonna need them to start wearing blue, and and then you get the Bloodline over here. But yeah, no, he gets stared down. They all walk past him all tough like, except for Heyman, who's begging for help with his eyes.
I will say one thing about this segment, actually. When I saw that, right in my head immediately, I was like, wouldn't it be weird if they came out to the ring and screwed Priest out of the belt to get Jay to try and think about joining them? But never happened.
No, I don't think they have any interest in the original members of the Bloodline.
Well, and especially since, yeah, they just took out his brother a couple weeks ago, and they had, wins and losses matter. Jay didn't pick up the win tonight. So if they were going to entice him, they might have ended up costing him, and it wouldn't have done anything for anybody.
Jay had already kind of hinted that he feels sympathy for his brother too. Like, they asked him in that episode of Raw, and he's just like, damn it, I told him, get out of there.
I tried to take you with me.
Yeah, all right. But we'll see. It certainly is interesting. I was hoping to see more Bloodline interactions tonight in the next match, but we didn't get that. Instead, we got another match that over delivered. Jey Uso versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest picks up the win. What did y'all think? Caesar, I'll let you go first because I started last time.
I'm actually surprised, or not surprised, that the two of them showed up and did their things near the end of the match. I'm surprised that they did it near the end of the match. The match, honestly, I feel like it could have moved a little bit faster. And then hearing Priest yelling at Jay, "Come on, bitch," over and over when he was like telling him to get up, I was just like, man, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be just like caving his skull in and just like stomping him, not, come on, bitch. And like, reminds me of like South Park Cartman.
He's very
Like,
aggressive.
Like,
bitch.
yeah, like, mom's a bitch, like
He's
kind of
not,
thing. Like,
he's not beating those bisexual Undertaker allegations anytime soon with those.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, go,
language.
let's go. Like, let's go like this. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. It's like, no. But no, the match itself was honestly awesome. It was cool to see them actually have a bit of time actually to shine. And especially with the crowd they had with France, where you could not hear shit at one point because it was so loud.
That's the thing, man. Every single match tonight, everything was elevated by a whole level with this crowd.
Mhm.
There was a spot where Jey Uso and Damian Priest are like in front of each other. Like, and the crowd is going so crazy that the camera is shaking, and I'm laughing because
That was pointed at Priest, actually. I remember that.
I'm like, there was not a single moment in this match so far where this reaction was necessary, but god damn it.
It was
It
great.
looked cool.
Especially,
I got a kick out of the crowd chanting at JD McDonough after he put Damian's foot on the rope to break up the pin, and they're chanting "asshole" and "fuck you,
Yeah.
JD."
Yeah, I remember that.
So
That
good.
was great.
That was great. Great. But did you guys, CJ, did you have anything else you wanted to say about this match?
Not anything that would really be different from what Caesar said, but yes, this bit at the end was phenomenal storytelling. Like I keep saying phenomenal. It's a reflex word of mine, but I like the storytelling that they did with the further fracturing of the Judgment Day is such good shit. Like, I love this. And to the point that Priest is literally pushing Balor and McDonough from attacking Jey Uso after the match is really turning the gears as far as getting closer to this, and the anticipation that they're able to build with this long-term storytelling. I love it.
I'll give it a few months.
You don't think we're quite there yet?
I mean, who knows? It could happen at King of the Ring. It could happen at Money in the Bank. It could happen at SummerSlam. It's happening soon.
Finn Balor is in the King of the Ring tournament, and we know they get a title shot.
Is that confirmed? Is that what we're doing now? I really hope so.
I was taking your word for it. I saw you talking about it on Facebook.
I want it to be that way. I need the King of the Ring, the King and Queen of the Ring to get world title shots. It should be guaranteed that way. It's the thing that makes sense to me. But I don't know.
You know, I bet where we can find out that information, John? comicbookclick.com/Dirt Sheet Radio, the new online home for Dirt Sheet Radio. We've got results for all the televised events. We've got all the latest news stories for everything WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, whole 9 yards. So be sure to check us out online. Make that your online home. comicbookclick.com/Dirt Sheet Radio.
Seamless.
Can you tell I used to be a broadcaster?
No.
No, that was that was
I
so
would have never
natural.
guessed.
Ugh.
You do broadcasting?
Sorry, I blacked out for a second. What happened?
Anyways, I
He's
agree
like,
with I agree with what you're saying about the long-term storytelling with the Judgment Day. I'm really enjoying this. Now that Finn's re-signed, they can really commit to him as
I
well,
give it
and
2 months.
and having him and Damian maybe go at it for the world title before they take the belt off of him or at some point. But what are we doing with Finn Balor to keep him as a significant character? I guess he can cost Damian Priest the title. Then you don't have to worry about him losing a title match. You can actually pin Damian too. This is what I think you kind of need him to do after all this time of him kind of falling to the shadows. I think ever since the Edge loss, he's kind of fell to the back of Judgment Day. And to really reestablish him as a threat, you have to pin a former world champion. That makes sense.
Well, and I mean, when you started bringing singles titles into the Judgment Day, even though they were like, "Oh, we still don't have a leader," it did really establish a pecking order. That's why Rhea was so controlling when Senor Money in the Bank didn't have the world title yet, because she was the world champion. By fact of she's the top of her division, that makes her the top of the Judgment Day. So now this is the kind of transition of power now that Rhea is out injured, and I think that might have been what they were going for before Rhea got injured, was like a coexistence sort of thing, leadership butting heads. But now that Rhea is out injured, it's this transition of leadership. And do we like this Judgment Day with Damian Priest at the helm is going to be, I think, the question that Finn Balor and JD are going to have to ask. And I actually kind of hope Finn and JD splinter off and become a tag team. I think the fact that they brought JD into the group because of his history with Finn Balor, it wasn't really covered properly. So if they get a chance to write some history of their own, using the past relationship that we can see expanded on, then I'd be all for that.
I wanted to say before we moved on from this match, the one thing that I thought they were really successful at, and probably the thing that makes a match most successful, is that there were multiple times where I thought Jey Uso maybe maybe can do this. In particular, the one spot they built up to his finish as if it was the end of the match, and I thought, well, that's interesting. I really almost thought like that could happen. And I was like, if the match can convince me, even beyond all odds, that Jey Uso might have a chance, then that's a goddamn successful performance. So great work. We follow that up with the women's tag team championships.
Before we got to that match, though, we did have the most recent QR code pop up.
Oh, that's right. I wonder if I can play that video without getting us in trouble. I think I can. It's not like a.
It's probably short enough, right?
You think you're so close to finding him, but you don't even know what you're looking for. He's not what you think. He just wants to help. That's all he's ever wanted. He opens up his arms and makes you feel like you matter, like you belong. He doesn't change you. He reminds you. He wants to know, why did you forget about them? He says he opened the door, and the time of secrets has come to an end.
Well, it's a lot of people immediately thought Alexa Bliss, Alexa Bliss, Alexa Bliss.
I saw that.
What do y'all? Is that the direction you guys are thinking too?
It didn't sound like Alexa Bliss to me. It just sounded to me like, is that even possible? Like, can you
I'll just go to
overdose?
sleep.
No.
I'll just go to sleep for the whole night.
I'd
What
be
happened?
hungry.
You'll fall asleep in your chair night one, and you'll fall asleep in your chair night one and wake up on night two.
The
But
dangers of marijuana.
I don't see it as Alexa Bliss though. Like, I don't know if it was, or maybe it was, because I heard it was like more of a child's voice. Maybe that's like a stand-in for Lily.
What if
I
it's
don't
AI?
know, but did
That makes sense.
did anybody call the number that showed up on that
No.
page?
I
Because they're
I think that's what plays. I'm not sure though. Is that
no,
oh
there's a second recording. If you call that 1-888 number, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it sounds like it's coming from Uncle Howdy, and just kind of expands the uh,
lore.
role and the lore a little bit more. Caesar, I think you found what was a transcription of it.
It was something like that in the actual comments on the video. Someone posted something in the comments that was like looks like a small. Well, I thought it gave me as a text message, but it's actually like a thing that they shared. It's like 2 small paragraphs in the chat or the comment section of the post. Maybe it is a transcription. You called the number, I didn't. So
I did not.
Yeah, but
this
I
from the
didn't
internet.
think to record it either.
What did it say? So or paraphrase it, I guess.
Or tell you what, I'll call the number right now, John. If you want to throw that number back up on the screen, or it's in my recents, I'll just fucking pull it up from there. All right, hang on.
you missed my ex.
Here's speaker.
What?
Do you know the story of the shepherd and the lost sheep? The shepherd left the 99 others to search for the one sheep that had gone missing. He rejoiced when he found it. But what happened when my precious sheep went missing? None of you cared. Their families didn't care. Their friends didn't care. You let the darkness take them. Left them shackled in hell all alone. But I set them free. They are my family now. And we will do anything to protect our family. I can't wait for you to see what they've become. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna need Stephen Hawking to leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, that sounds like Stephen Hawking up in that shit. Damn.
But and of course I had my headphones on, so I wasn't even able to really hear it that well over my headphones. I should have taken one of them off. Fuck. But it's like it sounded like the family that Uncle Howdy has assembled is coming together, and they're going to be debuting really soon.
I'll give him this. This is the creepiest stuff they've done.
Yeah.
This actually is.
But
It
it's
feels
good.
creepy. All this found footage.
Very
and
unsettling.
it does freak me out.
But it's so enticing, which is awesome.
Oh, that's right. There was a report about Joe Gacy getting called up. Hey, I'd throw him right up in that shit. I would. Because what
All
are
due
we doing
respect to
with
Joe Gacy, like, I love what he's doing right now, just being unhinged, unglued chaos. I don't want to see him get wrapped up in an element like the Wyatt family being his first introduction to the main roster with zero tie to the history and lore of Bray Wyatt whatsoever. It feels like anytime Bray has done anything, it's been meaningful, and it's been very heavily like there's a massive storytelling element to everything he's done, and I don't know how to tell this story involving Joe Gacy where it actually is meaningful to Bray Wyatt without just saying, oh, well, they run similar characters, so it's like he's carrying on the legacy. No, the whole point of what they're doing with Uncle Howdy and bringing characters from Wyatt's lore, that's the story. That's the way to pay homage to the man. Eric Rowan, great example of someone that it would make sense for him to come back. If Luke Harper were still alive, he would be another great addition. Or Braun Strowman,
Yeah, I was waiting for that one.
Yeah. So it makes sense for all these other guys. It just doesn't make sense for me to include Joe Gacy.
Agreed. But I also, it's one of those things where I don't know if they would put him on, like, yeah, because the stuff he's doing now isn't so much the stuff he was doing with grizzled young vets. You know, it's
No.
more crazy than spooky. So it does stand out, and it doesn't have to worry about being redundant and not getting a chance. So I agree with you on that 100%. But we did have this. We did have the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are the new champions. Okay, in a match that I honestly didn't think was bad until there was a miscommunication that I don't feel they ever recovered from. But
No.
it was a great show. It was fine for what it was in the beginning, and then it got fucked up in the end. I think Kairi went to do a spot like 3 minutes too early, and she didn't realize it. And the ref is trying to tell her you're not legal, like trying to snap her back into what we're doing. And if there's maybe a language barrier or the sound because the crowd was too loud, because I think she's been in America long enough that certain things she can know just by the way it sounds, you know. But it was a miscommunication, and I know because they go and they do the same exact spot again 3 minutes later. I was like, oh, there it is. But they never recovered. No, it was just they didn't know what to do from there, and they did eventually get the cool spot in the end where Kairi gets twisted up into the jaded. Is that what they're calling it still? I'm not sure. It is, right? It's jaded.
I think so.
Okay. She hits the jaded, pins her. Or I don't even think she pins her. I think Bianca Belair is the person who gets the pinfall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great moment. Great moment for Jade. Her first championship in the WWE. Has anybody else ever won the title in their third match in the company? Like, that's crazy.
I mean, Obafemi winning his third or fourth match for the North American title. And I don't know if this is emblematic of a problem or not. The problem being pushing people based on their notoriety instead of pushing a story in a particular direction. And I don't like, I mean more for Bianca getting her sorry, I'm completely blanking right now. Like
for a second.
Her interactions with Bayley lately, based on her history with Damage Control, I definitely thought it was going to wind up the Kabuki Warriors retaining by pinning Bianca, and then that was going to kind of ignite the start for this heel turn that we've kind of been teasing. If they're leading to something else, and I'm just impatient, in the same stream where I talked about the how great the long-term storytelling is, but no, like I just. Yeah, the moment in particular that you were talking about, though, it took me out of it a lot too. Like I was, like, what the hell was that? Like I couldn't get, like, I get him putting, or telling Kairi that she wasn't the legal competitor, and that made sense. But then he doesn't try to get her to tag out and just lets her continue being the aggressor. And then she tags in Asuka, the legal competitor, so that now Asuka is the legal competitor. She was already the legal competitor.
No, there were a lot of times I was confused too.
Like it took me out of it. The finish brought me back into it though. And I was definitely on board, but man, just goes to show like how easy it is for a match to lose so much momentum,
I think
even in a crowd like France.
You mentioned the story earlier, and I kind of had a feeling that they were gonna have Bianca turn on Jade at some point. I felt like that's where we were heading because she had shown some aggression, but she showed it towards Bayley, which it's fine. But I felt like that's a misdirect because I think that aggression is gonna get turned on her own partner at some point, and that's a big match, maybe for SummerSlam. Uh, my I saw a comment here from Mac, which I wanted to address. He said he's seen a lot of discourse online about Jay being so much better now that she went to the WWE PC, but honestly, she was doing the same shit in AEW. Literally, the sky blue spot with Kairi. I didn't see so much about Jade Online being so much better now. I kind of saw it in the reverse direction, where people are like, "Oh, yeah, she's looking kind of green out there." I am not either way on it. I'm not saying she's like still looking better. I'm not saying she's looking so much worse. I'm saying there was a lot of talk about her spending a lot of time in the PC because she needed to be trained and she wasn't trained properly and all this stuff. And I was like, that's a fucking PR spin if I ever saw it, especially after the last few performances that I've seen. That was an entire just legit Chris Legento, folks, if you get the reference. But the because it's at the same level, like nothing's changed, and that's not a problem. I think that's why they're pushing her because she came in at a certain level and they tested her out and they saw that okay, this is passable, and they put her on TV. I guess I agree. That means I agree with the second part of what you're saying, where she's doing the same shit in AEW. I guess if anybody is saying that it's much better, I imagine they were just watching clips of how that goes. I felt towards the end of her AEW career, she had a match with
Did
Chris
her
Statlander.
moments in the match?
No, you go ahead.
Sorry, it sounded like you were winding down. I didn't realize you were picking up steam. Go ahead, John.
No, I just wanted to say that in her last AEW match with Jade Cargill, with Jade Cargill with Chris Statlander, she had a match that felt like she put it all together. Like, oh wow, like she really figured it out. Like she's going to WWE at this level. Like, oh wow, that's really cool. And in her past few performances in WWE, I haven't seen that Jade again. And I don't know if that means, it's nerves, it's the lack of ring time at such an early point in her career caused regression, because that can also happen. But I think she'll figure it out. Like she figured it out in AEW. She'll figure it out here. But just as an observer and speaking on an observation, that's what I've seen.
I think it's more nerves than anything. Like this is a different kind of pressure than anything that she faced in basketball, anything that she faced in AEW. Like it's a whole other level that I think that she was aware of, but I think the debut at the Rumble was kind of where it started to sink in. And then she gets the big match at WrestleMania, and now she's women's tag team champion in front of a rabid French crowd. Like, it's one of those, I think it's really sinking in more and more, but she's just going to grow with it. She's going to continue to get better. And I think putting her with Bianca, and even if it is just a temporary alliance, she's still going to learn quite a lot in that partnership that I think she's going to do well once that partnership breaks up.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Caesar, did you have any thoughts on this match before we talk about our before we talk about our jobbers of the night?
Jobbers of the day.
Nice. We hit an hour. Nice. Very nice.
Honestly, the match itself, it was steady paced. I put it in the chat that I feel like it was going to be one of those matches where Bianca was going to do a lot of those stuff, and then eventually Jade was going to get tagged in. And then, like CJ said, all of a sudden, Kairi comes out of the blue, and she's trying to do the thing, and the ref's like, "You're not the legal competitor." And then this whole shit show starts, and this person's going this way, this person's going this way, this is happening, and I'm like, I was sitting here with my head on my desk, like, what's going on? As for the whole situation with with Jade, I'll give her a few months. Not to burn out or to do better. I just want to see what's gonna happen. Because who knows? Maybe 3 months she'll become, top mid carder of the women's division, or actually in the top of the women's division. We can only wait. Like I said, maybe 3 months. So, just my 2 cents.
No, I don't think in 3 months she'll be at that high of the card. In 3 months she'll probably still be working with Bianca. But at least that's the kind of trajectory I see from here.
Yeah.
But I guess
What
that
do you
does
think
take
since we're talking about the future, with the introduction of the women's North American title down in NXT, I know the Undertaker in particular, but I think I mentioned it on stream as well, that this opens the door for mid-card titles on Raw and SmackDown. If we're talking 3 months down the road, like 3 months from now, and Jade Cargill's had that time to improve, if they introduced a women's Intercontinental title, would she make a good first champion?
I think at that point it'd be really, really hard for me to fight people's allegations that she's doing the same shit she did in AEW. Like that would be the exact same thing that they did. They introduced a brand new secondary women's championship. They had a tournament. Jade Cargill was the first champion. She dominated with it for a year and a half. Then she left the company. We're about to do the same exact thing.
Especially if she actually carries it for a year and a half and dips. Like,
I know, right? Oh my god, that would actually be legendary. That would go down in wrestling history. So, there'd be documentaries about that.
Bird could never.
But actually, before we did the Jobbers of the Night, there was an announcement from WWE. Not an announcement, but the announcement of the matches for the first round of the Kings and Queens of the Ring.
Woo!
We had the first men's round,
side.
which was or on the Raw side, with Sheamus versus Gunther. Goodness fucking gracious. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre.
Holy shit.
Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov.
Damn.
Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio. Please put those 3 hours to use.
Right?
Fuck that filler nonsense shit that you do every week. This is not. You don't put.
Yeah, like,
come on, look at this. Just these 4 alone, I would give the first hour and a half.
I would say
Like,
3
this
of those
is
matches.
the first round. Like, these are some at least second round matchups, not or the finals that we're building here. That's how high quality this tournament is going to be. We're starting off strong from the jump.
Well,
curious what SmackDown gets.
I'm hoping, because my fear is that they show me this graphic, and you got to understand, Sheamus versus Gunther, that match in the WWE is a callback to one of my favorite eras in professional wrestling. The WWE does not have many opportunities to do that kind of wrestling in their ring. But when Gunther gets in there with people like Sheamus or Ilya or even Drew, and he gets, like he said, if he gets his time to have his match and to tell his story, it's exactly what the fuck I want to see in a wrestling ring. Like, you can't show me this graphic and then give them 8 minutes. I will be furious.
Oh, smash something too.
Okay,
guys,
3 hours.
In the match.
You have the time, and that brings us to the women's side of the bracket. Asuka versus Lyra Valkyria, another match that could be awesome. Another match that could be insane. Io Sky versus Natalya. Unfortunately, I have a lot less confidence that they will get the time that they deserve and need, but maybe I'll be surprised. We also had we saw that one already. Shayna Baszler versus Zelina Vega. That one is what it is. And Zoe Stark versus Ivy Nile.
What do you
Man,
mean that is what it is? I'm looking forward to Zelina Vega versus Shayna Baszler. This is
she's gonna
the
get squashed.
this is going to be the best possible version of Shayna Baszler that we've seen on the main roster, going against someone who was the inaugural Queen of the Ring and has had a banner year between challenging for the title in Puerto Rico to now still being involved in the LWO. I think she's going to get a much better presentation than she might have in the past, but she's doing phenomenally. Shayna is a beast as always, so I'm looking forward to that one.
I know that she's positioned well in the company, but I haven't seen. I mean, since the and even in the Rhea match, it was like 8 minutes. Like I haven't. It was like I haven't seen them give her the kind of in-ring opportunities that they've given other women in this tournament, and that they might believe that they don't have to because she's so over and she's part of the LWO, and like you said, she has all these great things going on, and whereas Shayna kind of needs to beat somebody who has all those things going on so we can reposition her in a place where she matters again, because it's been a long time. I'd say maybe since the Ronda feud, and you remember how that ended. So
with Ronda leaving the company,
with Ronda leaving the company in one of the performances that got panned by everyone who watches the damn art form. But,
I was trying not to focus on the negatives, John.
Listen, Shayna Baszler is awesome. I just want to see her get better opportunities here, and I'm hoping this is one of them. And this one actually, Zoe Stark versus Ivy Nile, can be a great showcase of the new talent that they have coming up, because both of them are pretty good, man. If you go out there, you give them the time to shine. The only thing I'm worried about is that they're both very new. So I'm like, who's going to lead the dance? You know what I'm saying? But
that's a good question, actually. I just thought about that.
But we'll see how it turns out.
I'm glad that Ivy Nile's finally getting a chance to step out from behind Maxine Dupree. Like, nothing against what they're doing with her, but it Ivy had my attention when she was in with the Creeds and the Diamond Mine. Like, she was someone who I've had my eye on for a while. She's definitely got the it factor that is going to go far in Triple H's women's division. But then she ends up being a sort of mentor to Maxine Dupree, which is fine. But she hasn't gotten that spotlight for herself. So hopefully this is a platform to do just that.
Tyler and me, and I guess Caesar too, on Monday, we kind of put together like how perfectly it fits for Ivy Nile and the Creed Bros to replace
the Alpha Academy.
Otis. Yeah, the entire Alpha Academy. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't mean that Ivy Nile is gonna get not stuck. I'm sorry. It's gonna have to have a lot of singles match or even a singles match with Maxine Dupree about it. We can be hopefully they'll just get it over with on Raw and we'll move on, because a month of having to face the babyface Alpha Academy, unless you're about to do some wild shit and actually like push them too, but I don't think they are. They don't usually work that way. Maybe Triple H is gonna use this as an opportunity to springboard Otis into a monster character. I don't know.
I could see him springboarding.
That'd be cool.
Come on, man! Like,
I had to say that. I had to.
But I mean, we talked about it before on Tuesday nights too, where it's like big man wrestlers are seeing more of a resurgence in NXT. Guys like Obafemi and Ivar, for example, put on a hell of a match during Spring Breakin', and I just don't know if they can do it with Otis. They tried it when Alpha Academy was heels the first time around, and then they decided, oh no, they work better as good guys, and the Alpha Academy that got Chad Gable more accepted by the back was, sorry, I kind of zoned out again. Yeah, but no, I think that I don't see them getting pushed as heels either. I think they work better as the underdog baby faces going up against the Creeds instead of being what the Creeds can easily be at the flip of a switch.
I agree. Which is a shame, though. I actually really liked Otis when he was with Tucker, and they were having a couple. They were actually being like big, beefy wrestlers, and it was pretty cool. I remember being really disappointed when I saw the direction they were going in with Otis, but then he got to make out with Mandy, and I was like, "Oh, good for you, man. That's really good. I can't hate on that." But yeah, that is, I guess, the show though, which would bring us to our jobber of the night, brought to you by Monk.com.
Promo code.
Monk.com, promo code
DSR10.
DSR10 for all of your aromatherapy needs. Check out Monk.com, and that's my radio voice. Jobber of the night, fellas. Caesar, I'll let you go first.
This is a tough one because there's a lot of spots that should be called out on. I mean, I could say anything from the easy way out of saying how things were handled in the women's tag match. I could say how things were handled in the World Championship match. But truthfully, yeah, I'm going to go with the situation in regards to the women's match, the tag match, because after a certain point, it just fell right to pieces. That's my jobbers of the night.
Damn, the whole match? That's crazy. If I put this graphic up for too long, people are going to get really angry. I'm not doing that.
That's just my 2 cents.
No, for sure. CJ, jobber of the night.
Referee Dan Engler. What the hell? That has to be, part of my jobber. What's that?
No. I was just saying which match she was in. I was like, oh yeah, now I remember.
The women's tag team match.
Yeah, like that. I would have had more respect if they would have just counted the pinfall and been like, oh, whoops, he just, we realized after the fact that she wasn't legal. That turned into such a clusterfuck that we're still talking about it as like, holy shit, what happened? So he's one of my jobbers of the night. The other one is WWE fans in the United States, because this was a clear indication that you've been resting on your laurels for far too long, and if you don't pick your shit up, you're going to wind up losing more and more. So
CJ just offended the community.
But hey, specifically WWE fans. I'm not trying to call out AEW because that's a whole can I would not even dream of opening.
He's gonna start a riot in the chat.
They do have their own. They do have their own environment over there, and it stinks when you go to a city and it's not there. It feels like you're missing a friend. That's the bad thing about when a crowd is like that all the time, though.
This crowd was crazier than
I mean, like, there was only one moment in this, I think it was the main event, where it felt like the crowd was just in it for themselves, and they were singing a song while AJ's getting offense in, and even through the pinfall, they were singing this song. They weren't reacting to the match, but the rest of the night, they were so energetic, and it really was a fire crowd. And then you look at the US fans that will toss a beach ball around in the middle of a match, and it's like I get not being into a match. Hell, I will rail against anything Karrion Kross does until my dying breath, but
He's your
there's a
favorite, you
difference
said.
between not being into it and just plain disrespectful. And overall, the US fans are not the best wrestling crowd in the world.
No,
Ooh.
definitely not when in the center part. It's usually in the big cities and on the coasts where you'll get a rowdy crowd, and up north you'll get a crowd that really
Canada.
has fun. But I did want to talk about that one segment at the end of the main event where the crowd was singing for a long time. I think it would have came across better if we understood it, because they were chanting for AJ. Like, that was a song for AJ. Like, they were singing at him. So, like,
this was a different song. I know which one you're talking about. The phenomenal.
Yeah,
anytime,
I thought that was all they were singing. I didn't even hear another song.
If I remember correctly, there was a moment where it sounded like they were singing just what sounded like a regular French verse of something. Yeah, no, the soccer chant, that was something else, I think, as well. If I can find it and clip it, I will send it to you. But I will. That'll have to be after we end the stream.
No problem. So, my jobber of the night, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, for sitting in that goddamn locker room and looking at each other in the fucking eyes and saying, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna hit you with a burning hammer. All right, bro, I'm gonna kick out at one. Fuck you both.
Was it even
Fuck
one?
you both. Okay? How dare you? I hope you get a tummy ache later on."
Oh.
I hope the rest of your life is just a string of mild inconveniences.
I
hope your shoelace aglet breaks. Okay? For that.
We don't
for what you've done tonight.
Oh my gosh.
John's just throwing
Understood. I like him, Yuman. I like him. I even liked the one that didn't acknowledge the pinfall at all. That was hilarious. They were just wrestling, and it was fucking great.
Holy shit.
Absolutely great. So, megastar of the night. I got a graphic somewhere. Boom, baby. Powered by the Cold Case Project on YouTube. Check it out. It's the Cold Case Project. It's run by Tony LaRocco. It's a YouTube with hundreds of hours of cold case content from all around the United States. Check that out if that's what you're into. Megastar of the night. I guess I gotta start because I went last. So keep the thing going. Unfortunately, I'm taking the easy one. These guys, holy shit. Come on, man. Who else?
That was hot as hell. Holy shit.
They were the actual fourth person in the ring all night long. Thankfully, pretty much every performance delivered something worth this crowd and made this show something worth rewatching later on. But
absolutely.
CJ, megastar of the night.
I got two megastars of the night, and their names are Damian Priest and Jey Uso.
Yeet.
The reason why even Jey Uso in loss, again, this crowd made everybody look like $1 million. Jey Uso in particular, alongside the main event, but he worked his ass off in this match. Damian Priest worked his ass off in this match. The story that they're telling with Damian Priest and the Judgment Day, the story that they were telling with Jay running into the Bloodline backstage, they are doing things that, as somebody who, my entire WWE experience started right before the PG era. So, like, I remember ECW on Sci-Fi, but I also remember that there was an original ECW before that, just because that post has been making the rounds again. But
Boy.
I've never been as invested in this company as I am since Vince has stepped down. And I love when they tell good stories. That's exactly what they're doing with both of these guys. So my hat goes off to Damian Priest and Jey Uso. Long may Priest reign, and hopefully Jey gets a crack at something soon to make it work. They are both megastar material.
I agree. I absolutely. I got no notes. Perfect. Straight to theater. Human says Jade Cargill is my megastar of the night. She is, in fact, a megastar. It's hard to deny.
Absolutely.
Caesar.
I'm just saying that, like all the pictures have been saying it. It's Stiffy time, boys. I'm saying it now. Why? That she's had 2 matches on 2 different PLEs that people have gone completely nuts for. Elimination Chamber and now Backlash. Only difference was Elimination Chamber, she got booed because she was eliminated. This time, she was just, dare I say, phenomenal, but she was good in that match. So what they're gonna do with her, I don't know, but I'm excited.
She
That's
needs to
all
be
I've got.
champion. She needs to be champion tomorrow.
Right now. Just buy her belt at the shop and then give it to her.
Not yet. Give it a nice little build, slow build. Give her a bunch of little accolades. She should be, if they were so inclined to introduce a secondary women's championship, she should be the one. It's
The inaugural champ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it now and give it to her.
Just I'll make it myself. Give me a fucking minute.
Make a statue for Mariah May too.
So that's that's us, fellas. Thank you to everyone who made this Backlash post-show stream the most watched live post-show stream that we've had so far.
Hell yeah.
They just keep growing and growing and growing, and it's all because of you. So thank you very much to all my Star Wars loving friends. May the 4th be with you. I can't think of any other things because we go through all the plugs now through the show, so that was cool. Dolphin Pod, that's right. The Dolphin Pod shows are available everywhere podcasts are found. The Dolphin Pod specializes in pop culture and cinema content, including shows like Dirt Sheet Radio, Revenge of the Sequel, Countdown to Infinity, and much more. And a Bad Batch recap show. Bad Batch just finished. Don't sleep on the damn Bad Batch. I loved that show. It touched my heart. I'll never forget Omega and her brothers. But yes, also the Major Issue Show every Thursday on Comic Book Click. They specialize in superhero content, specifically comic books, movies, television shows, all of it. Major Issue Show every Thursday morning. Fellas, did you want to say goodbye to our friends?
Honestly, guys, thank you for hanging out with us and watching the show before and then talking with us about the whole thing. Thank you for gentlemen for sitting down and doing this. Au revoir, ademe, bonsoir, and we'll see you guys at the next podcast.
Peace out.
Yeats et au revoir.
Au revoir.
That too.